What if I told you there's a country that was once, well, the undisputed center of the world? A land where empires rose, legends were born. Yet for most people, it's still kind of a mystery on the map. Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're journeying right into the heart of Central Asia to uncover a truly astounding place, Uzbekistan. What we found, digging through our sources, is this incredible mix of ancient wonders, think mesmerizing blue-domed mosques, secrets whispered along the Silk Road.
Yeah.
And alongside that, some truly unexpected modern twists. We've pulled together insights from, historical accounts, contemporary travel experiences, all sorts of things, and we're ready to share the absolute best bits with you.
Yeah, our mission for this deep dive is really to give you a shortcut, to get you well informed, bringing out these fascinating facts about Uzbekistan that often just go untold.
Right.
We want to show you why this country is so much more than just like a shape on the map. And maybe even prompt you to look at world history, maybe geography too, through a bit of a fresh lens.
Yes, exactly. And that sense of challenging what we think we know, that's what makes these deep dives so compelling, isn't it?
Absolutely.
By the end of our chat, we think you'll not only be amazed, but honestly, potentially ready to explore this incredible hidden gem yourself. It's a place that truly offers a unique journey through time, through culture. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this first incredible idea. The material we looked at makes a really compelling case for Uzbekistan's historical position as the absolute heart of the Silk Road.
Yeah.
And what's particularly striking is how the Silk Road itself is described nothing short of the internet of the ancient world. That phrase really sticks, doesn't it?
It really does. It makes you think about connectivity in a totally different way. And what's fascinating here is that cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva, they weren't just, stops for caravans.
Right, not just rest stop. No, not at all. They were bustling, vibrant hubs of innovation, of learning. I mean, consider this. When much of Europe was going through what historians often call the Dark Ages, these Uzbek cities were practically radiating light.
That's amazing.
Scholars there were making just astounding advancements. Science, literature, architecture, even astronomy. Imagine one part of the world is in, let's say, relative intellectual quiet. While these scholars are charting stars with incredible precision, even inventing surgical tools. It's quite a contrast.
That is such a powerful contrast, isn't it? It completely flips the script on the historical narrative we often get taught.
It really does.
And speaking of Samarkand, the research tells us it was so incredibly rich, so advanced, that it actually earned the nickname the Rome of the East.
Yeah, think about that comparison.
I mean, comparing a city to Rome, the epicenter of one of history's greatest empires, that comparison alone really made me stop and think. It puts its historical weight into such a fresh perspective, makes you realize just how major a global player it must have been.
Absolutely, a center of power and culture.
But here's what truly makes Samarkand stand out, maybe even more. It's not just historically significant, it's still standing.
It's still there.
Imagine, this city is over 2,700 years old. Just let that sink in for a second. That's older than Athens, older than Rome itself. The sheer longevity of this place is just incredible.
And that really brings up a key question. How? How has it endured? Samarkand has seen it all, truly.
You can imagine.
It's weathered Persian kings, the devastating impact of Mongol invasions, even the sweeping changes under Soviet rule. Yet, through all of that turmoil, it has somehow steadfastly held on to its rich culture, its traditions. It's really a testament to the resilience of its people, the strength of its identity.
When you read descriptions of walking through a place like Registan Square, the material calls it like stepping into a time machine. It just blows your mind thinking about that.
It does.
The architecture there, it's described as mathematically perfect and visually hypnotic. So this isn't just about stunning beauty, right?
Not at all.
It's an insight into how incredibly advanced their understanding of mathematics, of engineering was centuries and centuries ago, literally embedding complex cosmic ideas into the buildings themselves. It's a sensory overload that also tells this profound intellectual story.
Precisely. Form and function and deep meaning, all woven together.
Okay, now let's talk about a figure that honestly should be way more famous than he is. We've all heard of Galileo, Copernicus, right? Household names.
Sure.
But what about Ulu Beg? The sources introduce us to this Uzbek prince, who is also a scientist, and centuries before those well-known Western figures, he was doing truly groundbreaking work.
His achievements are just astounding. In the 15th century in Samarkand, he built one of the most advanced observatories of his time, period.
In the 1400s.
Yes, and it wasn't just impressive for the era. His calculations were mind-bogglingly accurate. He calculated the length of a year with such precision that he was only 58 seconds off modern calculations.
58 seconds, using 15th century tools.
Exactly, which raises this really important question. Why is someone of his caliber doing that kind of work barely mentioned in Western history books?
Yeah.
As our sources put it, that's one of the world's quietest tragedies. It really speaks volumes about the narratives we choose to amplify and, well, those we let fade into the background.
That's a profound thought, isn't it? It genuinely makes you rethink who we consider the pioneers of science and how history gets written, or maybe whose history gets written.
It does. It challenges our assumptions.
Okay, so from the brilliance of Ulu Beg's mind, let's shift to something equally striking but visual. If you were to just see a photo of Uzbekistan, one thing would immediately leap out: the color blue.
Oh, absolutely. The blue.
I mean, mosques, tiles, minarets, domes, they all shimmer in these incredible shades of turquoise, indigo, sapphire. It's utterly mesmerizing.
And it's not just pretty, right? In Central Asian culture, blue holds this really profound significance. It's not merely decorative. It symbolizes the sky, eternity, and crucially, protection from evil. And then think about the land itself, surrounded by vast deserts, sun-scorched plains.
Right, harsh landscapes.
Exactly. So that vibrant blue becomes more than just a color. It transforms into, as one source put it, a portal to paradise. It offers this visual coolness, a sense of peace, maybe even a connection to something eternal right there in that tough environment.
Wow. So it's beauty with deep meaning, providing comfort. That makes sense. And speaking of things that change and shift, let's dive into Uzbekistan's unique linguistic landscape. The material we reviewed notes how people there just casually switch between Uzbek, Russian, Tajik, even Turkish in daily chats, and sounds like a real linguistic melting pot.
It absolutely is. And what's even more interesting, perhaps, about the Uzbek language specifically is its incredible history with scripts. Just think about this. In the last 100 years alone, Uzbek has used 4 different writing systems.
4 in a century.
4. Arabic, then Latin for a bit, then Cyrillic imposed during the Soviet era, and now it's transitioning back to Latin again. This isn't just like a linguistic fun fact. It's a direct mirror of profound political and cultural shifts. Tsarist influence, Soviet control, standardizing things, and now a reassertion of national identity. Each script change meant a massive societal adjustment, impacting everything from school books to street signs.
So yeah, you're visiting and you're trying to read signs and they look completely different from one block to the next. You're definitely not alone. It's a bit of a puzzle.
You might need a decoder ring.
Exactly. Now, while so much of Uzbekistan paints this picture of ancient grandeur and vibrant culture, the sources also bring up a more somber but really crucial story: the environmental disaster of the Aral Sea.
Yes, this is a heavy one.
Once the world's 4th largest lake, it has now shrunk by over 90%. 90%.
It's truly one of the biggest ecological catastrophes caused by humans. The cause: massive Soviet irrigation projects that diverted the rivers feeding the sea. They just rerouted the water.
For agriculture, right? Cotton, mainly.
Primarily cotton, yes. And the result is this haunting, vast desert landscape littered with the rusting skeletons of fishing boats, miles from any water. It's a stark, powerful visual of our impact on the planet.
It really is. But here's the twist, and it's a hopeful one that came through in the research. Uzbekistan isn't just leaving it as a disaster zone. They're actively working to transform it.
That's right, into an ecotourism and science hub, believe it or not. It's this remarkable narrative of destruction and rebirth. They're not just mourning what was lost. They're trying to find new purpose, new solutions for the area. It speaks volumes about resilience, I think.
It really does. Finding hope in desolation. Okay, let's pivot to something much more vibrant and traditional: silk and gold. Ever wonder where the Silk Road actually got its name?
It seems obvious, but worth confirming.
Well, the sources confirm Uzbekistan was a major silk producer historically, and incredibly, it still is today. It's not just a footnote in history books, it's a living, breathing tradition.
Indeed. And if you were to visit one of Uzbekistan's bustling bazaars today, you'd immediately get it. You'd find these vibrant, hand-woven silk scarves, incredibly intricate gold-threaded fabrics, stunning hand-dyed ikats.
Ikat, yeah, I've seen pictures of that process.
It's amazing. And what's fascinating is that many of these pieces take weeks, sometimes months, to make. And they're still using ancient techniques. We're talking no factories, no mass production. It's pure artisanal craft, passed down generation after generation.
The material we looked at described shopping there as like stepping into Aladdin's cave. And honestly, just imagining that explosion of color, the textures of those silks, the sheer human effort behind it, it sounds like an experience for all the senses, a real connection to centuries of tradition.
Absolutely. Tangible history you can touch.
And speaking of unique things, here's a surprising modern fact that jumped out. There are over 2,000 mosques in Uzbekistan.
A lot.
But guess how many McDonald's?
Let me guess. Zero.
Zero. Not a single golden arches in the whole country.
It's true. No Big Macs, no McFlurries. The country has, it seems, largely made a conscious choice to keep those global fast fashion giants out. Instead, they favor their own traditional cuisine, which is incredibly rich and flavorful.
And the undisputed king of that cuisine, according to everything we read, is plov.
Plov, yes.
The research describes it as the absolute heart of Uzbek food, this rich, savory rice dish, usually slow-cooked with tender lamb, sweet carrots, onions, amazing spices. You see pictures of it cooking in these enormous cauldrons called kazans.
Enough to feed a whole wedding party easily.
Right. And the sources assure us it's way better than a burger. I'm inclined to believe them. Sounds like a culinary adventure all on its own.
It definitely is. A must try.
Now, perhaps one of the most heartwarming aspects of Uzbek culture, as our sources really emphasize, is their legendary hospitality. It's not just, being nice. It's a deeply ingrained cultural value.
What's really fascinating here is the core principle behind it. Guests are considered a gift from God.
Wow.
And this isn't just some quaint saying, it's how people live. The material gives concrete examples. Perfect strangers might invite you into their home for tea, just meeting you on the street. They'll feed you, often lavishly, and might even insist you stay the night.
Seriously? Strangers?
Seriously. And here's the cultural kicker. Refusing their hospitality is seen as almost rude. It's one of the few places left, maybe, where these ancient codes of conduct around guests are still practiced with genuine pride and sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
Visitors often leave feeling not just welcomed, but like they become part of the family. It's a really powerful human connection.
That's truly special, especially today where those kinds of deep connections can sometimes feel a bit lost, right?
It really stands out.
Finally, let's touch on Uzbekistan's sort of emerging status as a tourist destination. The sources note that this incredible hidden gem only really opened its doors properly to tourism in the last decade or so.
And that's exactly what makes now such an interesting time to consider it. While it might have been perceived as difficult to access in the past, modern advancements have changed that dramatically.
Like what?
Well, we're talking about new, efficient bullet trains connecting major cities, visa-free travel implemented for citizens of many countries, and they're even rolling out things like digital nomad visas.
Okay, so it's becoming much more accessible.
Much more. Yet, the key point from the sources is that most of the world hasn't caught on yet.
Right. It's still under the radar for many.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which means now is arguably the perfect time to experience its immense beauty, its deep history, its unique culture before it inevitably hits the mainstream and becomes the next big travel hotspot. Get there before the crowds.
That's a powerful thought, isn't it? To experience a place just as it's stepping onto the world stage. So to kind of wrap up this incredible deep dive, Uzbekistan clearly isn't just another country on the map. It's like a living museum, a forgotten empire, and a modern mystery all rolled into one, waiting to be discovered.
And thinking about all this, it raises an important question for you, the listener, to maybe ponder. How many other forgotten centers of the world might be out there? Places with rich histories and achievements that could reshape our whole understanding of the past. It challenges us to look beyond the usual stories, doesn't it?
It really does, to seek out that fuller, more complex tapestry of global history that often goes untold. So what stands out to you from this deep dive? What surprised you? Would you consider visiting Uzbekistan, or maybe you've already experienced some of its wonders? We'd love for you to think about that. Until next time, stay curious and stay adventurous.